Not a minute.
All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, everybody in the classroom, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we back at it again. Another Sabbath service, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh. Bashima Mashiach wa Malak Yahushua. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in the truth before us for decades and decades, laboring and patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushua. A hearty shalom to the mighty men that go out and labor and magnify the name of the Lord, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there as of yet, but their households in order. They're studying, praying, and they're fasting and getting the spirit right in the last days. Shalom to all of the aqua out there holding it down in the households, married and or unmarried, reverencing their husbands, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, guiding their households in order, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers.
Con. Shabbat Shalom. Pray everybody had a beautiful feast of unleavened bread. Everybody had a beautiful Passover through the Spirit. We're going to get back into it because the work don't stop till Yahweh shall come.
That's right.
Right? So we're going to go to Acts chapter 18 and verse 4. Right? Right. So this is called the Apostle Peter. Right?
That's right. That's right. All right, so this Acts chapter 18 and 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right. So another Sabbath service, we can persuade Israel who knows that the Israel to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, keep the faith, brotherly love, charity, all things that are good in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and to the brothers and sisters just coming out of the world to forsake the ways of the world and search out the law, statutes, and commandments of our God and how to please him. And the only way we can do that through Philippians 4 and 13.
Philippians chapter 4 and 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me.
Through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we're able to cast down all these false doctrines, get the proper understanding, and go precept upon precept to get the perfect understanding of the scriptures through the spirit. Right? So we're going to go into 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter. Right? We didn't record the last Sabbath service, 1 Peter, the 1st chapter. Right? So we're going into the 2nd chapter.
That's right. That's right.
So you didn't miss anything.
That's right.
Right. So this is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Right. So again, coming in the truth, you got brothers. You'll see brothers. They'll be going in-depth breakdowns, going into the book of Daniel, Zechariah, Revelation, all types of in-depth interpretations of the scriptures. But we should be focusing on the milk. Right, that's what we teach. We focus on the milk. You can't be a baby and eat steak. We know that. If you give a baby steak, he's going to die, right? And you probably going to jail, right? So you have to be able to make sure that our people, and when we teach them, when we come into this truth, that we're drinking the milk, right? Drinking the milk starts with laying aside these things of the world, like malice. Brothers know what malice is? It's hatred, but it's where it may turn physical, right? When you want to harm somebody. Right, wrath, right? You can't be in this truth and be the brother that's soon to be wrathful. You punching holes in the walls, right? You flipping, or the sister, right? You quick to get out the spirit. You flipping tables over. That's malice, right? What else? And all guile. Guile is what? Being deceptive, trickery, right? Not being honest. What else do we have? Hypocrisies. We know what that is. When you say, "Look, I'm in this truth," but behind closed doors, you're dealing with all types of wickedness, man. Smoking weed, you don't pray, but you telling brothers to pray all day. You got your fridges on, but when you go home, you'll never have your fridges on. It's all for show. Don't just be a for show Israelite, man. Reading on. And envies and all evil speakings, man. Don't envy your brother, man. Right? What are you envying? The Most High created you with a beautiful spirit to come into this truth. Bear witness with the spirit, man. You don't have to emulate or envy your brother. Neither do you have to have evil speaking, like we did the whole lesson on watching your mouth. Slander, backbiting, whispering, tale-bearing. That's all evil speakings. If you lay those things aside, then you'll be able to properly receive the milk. If you want to keep those things within you, then even the milk is going to be a stumbling block to you, man. That's why you see certain brothers, they don't elevate, man. They don't grow in this thing. They remain that Benjamin Button spirit, man. right? When they regress, if that's the word, man, and they just stay a baby forever, man. Then you got brothers that grow. How did this brother grow? This brother, he came in, now he mighty, breaking it down, because that brother, he's laying aside the things that are necessary, you know?
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 29. Right? Hypocrisy is key to be laid aside, man. Right? Being in this truth, you can't be a hypocrite, man. Because you can fool some of the people some of the times, but you'll never be able to fool the Most High. Right?
Right.
You'll never be able to fool them. Right? Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Right? Sirach and the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiastes, right? 1 and 29. It says, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Right? So you can't be a hypocrite in the sight of men. Telling brothers one thing to keep certain commandments, but you break them every day. Right? And take good heed what thou speakest. Right? Because if you speak it, thus saith the Lord, you got to take heed to that, man. Right? That's going to be the stability of these times, man. That's going to be able. That's what's going to separate you from being a 2/3 and one who may make it, right? So you got to lay aside these hypocrisies, man. Because there's a lot of hypocrites in Israel, right, who do things for show, right, to want to be known amongst the body, right? You want to be known amongst the Lord.
Now, and you can't receive milk unless you're born again too, man. Right? Because you can't. Expect to receive milk straight off of your mother. Who is your mother? Wisdom. Right? Wisdom is your mother. And you're born again through this knowledge. Right? And that's the only way to receive the milk, man. Right? As a babe. So let me get that real quick. Let me go to Sirach chapter 24. Wisdom is your mother. That's you have your actual mother that you honor, but you also have to honor wisdom. Right? Let's get that real quick in Ecclesiasticus, right? Sirach chapter 24, and let's read verse 17. We're going to read 17 and 18. Right? It reads, as the vine brought I forth pleasant savor, and my flowers are the fruit of honor and riches. I am the mother of fair love and fear and knowledge and holy hope. I therefore, being eternal, am given to all my children, which are named of him. So your true wisdom, your true mother is wisdom, right? That is your spiritual mother. And she's the one that allows you to be born again, right? That's why you're born in these waters, right? Like a baby, he's in the amniotic fluid. He's in the water. The woman, she'll say, look, my water broke. Because the baby's being nurtured and raised up in that water, right? Just like us, we're nurtured and raised up in this water, right? Let's go to Song of Solomon, chapter 3. Right, let's go to Song of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. Only way you can receive the milk is if you're born again. You trying to teach Aunt Keisha and Day Day about the truth, and they can't get it, man, because they're not born again. He's sitting there smoking the blunt. Yeah, I hear you out, nephew. No, he don't hear you out, man. He's not getting it. Let's go to Song of Solomon, chapter 3 and 3. Right? Song of Solomon, chapter 3 and 3. It reads, the watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth. And this is parabolic. The watchmen represent the men on night patrol, the servants of the Lord. Right? We brought this out last night for the elder. Right? He was out there wandering, and then he came across the truth. Right? Let's read on. Verse 4. It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. Meaning, after you deal with the servants of the Lord, you finally find the truth. I held him and would not let him go until I have brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her that conceived me. You see that? So what's your mother's house? Yeah, where is it? No. No. Where's mother's house?
Oh, the word.
The word. Right here. Yeah, right. This is your mother's house. This Bible, this knowledge. So you're born again. You're conceived. It reads again. Until I have brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her that conceived me. Right? So we're all conceived through this knowledge. We're born again. Some brothers, they were born again in the book of Deuteronomy. That's all they needed for them to be born again. Certain brothers, King. That's all right. Certain brothers, they were born again through the book of Revelation, the 1st chapter. Right? It's a home birth. It's a home water birth, like we like to break down. Right? right? And then you're born again, and then you get put straight on what? The milk, man. Like every baby, you know. And this is the true milk. Not that they got the Similac that's for like $40, man. $45 Similac, man. And that's the spiritual Similac is like the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees, yeah, the apocalypse of Abraham. A brother got mad at us because we told him you can't read the apocalypse of Abraham. Come on, brother. That's why his mind all messed up. Like if you feed a baby with natural breast milk, it'll be stronger than a baby that has the processed powder milk, man. It won't have no allergies, right? The baby immune system will be functioning well. It'll have quicker developmental skills. It'll crawl and walk faster because it's being nurtured according to the knowledge of the Most High, compared to a baby. Your baby allergic to all types of stuff. He's walking backwards, and because you're not telling them or not feeding them according to what's the order.
Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 1. Right. First, let's go to John 3 and 3 before we go there. Right, John chapter 3 and verse 3.
This is the book of John, chapter 3 and 3. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, except you be born again. And that's what we're going into in 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, being a babe again. When you become a babe again, you need and rely on your mother, right? Wisdom isn't just your mother. Wisdom is your spouse, right? Wisdom is every meaningful woman in your life. That's wisdom, right? Babies, they can't live without their moms. Right, when you first come out, you're supposed to lay the baby on the mother's chest. Right, that's wisdom. Right, she'll feed you. Right, she'll give you everything that you need. Now let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Chapter 8. So like we started verse 1. Right, because not only is she your mother, she's your spouse. Right, you should desire her beauties. Right, you should desire the delicacy of wisdom, the things that she can offer you. Right.
What's that one? Good. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and 1. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily.
Right. So wisdom is out searching for those men and those women who are gonna desire her, who's gonna hold her tight, right? Not throw her to the side and treat her like she doesn't mean anything to her, right?
And sweetly doth she order all things. I loved her and saw her out from my youth.
Right. So from our youth, coming into this truth, being born again, we're searching for that wisdom, right? We're forsaking the worldly wisdom. You know, how many blunts you can smoke until you can't remember anything, how many shots till you throw up, right? We're forsaking that wisdom and coming back to the true wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
I desired to make her my spouse.
Read that one more time.
It's like it. I loved her. So I'm gonna read it again. And sweetly does she order all things. I loved her and saw her out from my youth. I desire to make her my spouse.
You got to desire to make wisdom your spouse, right? Your spouse is like your right hand, right? You're not going to let anything happen to your wife that you love, right? That's how you got to treat wisdom, right? So she'll give you more understanding, which in turn, you're going to magnify the names of the Most High, the name of the Most High, right? Through your works, right? Everything you do is going to magnify the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because wisdom is going to give you the increase. When you out teaching, when you're speaking to people, your actions, how you treat your brother, right? Your charity, all that comes from wisdom, right?
I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. And that she is conversant with the Most High. She magnifieth her nobility.
Right? Wisdom is going to magnify her nobility, meaning make you into a new creature, right? A babe is going to grow. You're going to be like, look how tall you got in X amount of years. Look how fast you started walking. That's how wisdom's going to dwell with you. Right, your spouse, sometimes you meet your wife, you be a little dirty, right? Your beard don't be cut, right? Your house is dirty, you can't cook. She bring you in, she kind of mothers you, right? Your spouse is an extension of your mom for us men, right? She kind of mothers you. Look, you got to get your hair cut, right? You got to make sure you brush your teeth, right? Put some lotion on your face, right? Because brothers don't put lotion on their face, and wisdom making your face to shine. So wisdom give you that oil. Right?
Yea, the Lord of all things himself loveth her, or loved her, for she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of the Most High, and a lover of his works.
Right, when you see those brothers start to increase, break down these dark parables and these dark sayings, going to the prophecies, that's wisdom, right? That's wisdom giving him or her all that love that she can, right? As a good mother or a good spouse would. Right? We don't gotta get too deep into it. We be on this all day. Right?
You want more?
No. We can stop right there.
Okay, let me get another quick precept real quick. And classic in Song of Solomon, chapter 8. So now, brothers, understand, we were old, we were dead in the world. So now the Lord resurrects you. So when you come alive again, you start as a newborn baby. All right, it's the process, man. They call it the cycle of life. All right, this Song of Solomon, chapter 8. We're gonna read 1 through 3.
Okay. Songs of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 1. Oh, thou wert as my brethren that sucked the breast of my mother. When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee, yet I should not be despised.
See that? It says, you trying to read it again, Baba Kishar?
Come. Oh, that thou wert as my brother.
Yeah, this is talking about when you see your family in the world, you wish they was like your brother, man. Or you might have a cousin that you grew up with, or an uncle, or your pops, or your moms. You wish that they was like Mathanyika, or like Amos, right? Or Bartholomew. We wish all our family in the world was like our brothers in this truth, right? Oh, that thou were as my brother, right? That what?
That sucked the breast of my mother.
Yeah, you want them to be breastfed, man. You want all your family to suck the breast of your mother. That's why this not for everybody, because brothers, they take that literal. And all hell break loose in their house, man. Right? It's not literal, man. Don't do this. Right? It's spiritual. You want your family in the world to come suck your mother's breast, meaning be born again as a babe and drink of that milk. Right? Go on.
When I should find thee without,
if we find you without this knowledge,
I would kiss thee, yet I should not be despised.
Right, kiss you with this truth, show you affection and love. Break the scriptures down to you. Go on.
I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house.
Yeah, have you heard of the book of Deuteronomy? Right, let me show you the Psalms. Right, let me show you the book of Proverbs. Right, bring them into your mother's house. Go on.
Who would instruct me? I would cause thee to drink a spiced wine of the juices of my pomegranate.
See that? So you want all your family to come to your mother's house and kick it, man. Eat good, man. Right? Drink good, man. And enjoy yourself in your mother's house, man. Right? You don't have to leave when Jake 18 and you out your mother's house. No, I still live with my mother, man. Right? This knowledge. Right? You gotta clarify. This knowledge, man. Right? This understanding, right? I'm never leaving. I'm never moving out, man. And she don't want you to move out, man. You know, sometimes you might, why you want to leave? Why you want to? Sometimes you visit your mom, like, where you going? Oh, I gotta go. No, why don't you just stay for a little while? Sometimes your mother wants you to stay, man. And wisdom wants you to stay forever in this thing. You know, so now we know. Oh, let's get another one. 1 Corinthians 3 and 1. Real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 1. So this is how you get this milk. You gotta come to your mother. Right? And like Amos said, hey, the baby can't function without the mother. It ain't gonna work.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able.
Right, he said, I can't get too deep with these brothers in the church of Corinth because they carnal. Right? I can only give you milk. I can never give you meat. Anytime it's time to really break it down, we can't get on that level. And he's going to tell you what. I will read it. It says, for ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? So now they wasn't able to reach the level, man, because they had envy in their spirit. It's like your strife and divisions. The Lord said they're carnal. They're not going to be able to get that deep in this thing. You got to purge all of that stuff out, right? Through fasting, through prayer, through repentance. Then the Most High is going to honor that. Then He'll give you that increase. Then you elevate from that bread. Then you could eat that. It's like from that bread. You might have some honey. Then some bread. Then some meat. Then some wine, right? You know. What you got? Okay, come. We're back in 1 Peter chapter 2 and 2. Baba Kashar.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Yeah, man. When babies want milk, do they just say, get some milk, man? Guess I have some milk. No, they throwing a fit, man. They crying after it, man. Right? The mother walk out the room, all hell break loose, man. They desire that milk so bad. When that milk, they can smell it. They start smiling, man.
Right.
That's how you got to be with this knowledge when you're born again, man. Desire meaning you gotta crave after it, man. You gotta yearn after the milk, man. Right? Babies without milk, I don't even know, maybe what, 2 days, a day, I don't know, but they out of here. Right? Them babies are gone. They back in the spirit world if they don't get milk, man. Right? So if you come in this truth and you're not getting fed this milk, guess what? You out of here, man. That's why people, they find out they Israel, then they back in the world the next week, man. They might be in this thing for 4 months, maybe a year, right? Maybe 9 months. Then they back in the world because they're not desiring this milk, man. You gotta crave the milk. Okay, what is the law? Okay, I know the law. Okay, now, who is this people? Okay, who are the Edomites? Okay, who's Yahushua? Okay, why did he come to save us? Okay, what is this talking about? You gotta crave this stuff, man. If you're not craving this milk, you're gonna starve.
So, Lucky, even when you season in this truth, you should be craving the milk.
That's right.
Right? Because the milk is beautiful, man.
Right.
Right? You can forget the milk, and then you start to wax worse and worse and worse because you're trying to obtain the deep things.
Right.
Right? The deep things really don't matter if you don't have the meat. Right? If you don't have the milk.
Right.
Right? Always desire the milk, man. Always want to be as a babe, man. Because you can never get enough of these commandments. Right. You can never get enough of finding out about the works of the Lord. Right?
Matthew 5 and 6, and it says, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled."
There you go, man. You gotta hunger and thirst for this thing, man. You gotta yearn it, man. You gotta cry, man. Let me get that real quick. Proverbs chapter 2, because babies be crying, man. They throw a fit. They sweating, they straining themselves. This Proverbs chapter 2 and 3. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and search for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Most High and find the knowledge of God. And that's milk right there, right? But you gotta cry after it, man. It ain't gonna be given to you, man. Sometimes the mother, she got stuff going on, but the Most High put in the spirit of the baby to let the mother know when the baby gotta eat, man. Right? So you got to be on that same thing when you crying and lift up your voice. But Most High, please increase my wisdom. Please give me more knowledge. You got to cry after this thing. You can't be like, all right, Lord, you on your phone, you on Instagram. All right, Lord, shoot me down some wisdom. Right? That's wicked, man. All right, Lord. Yes, I want some knowledge right now. It's been 4 days since you read the Bible. You told me you on your phone. I guess I want some knowledge. Guess what? You're not going to get it, man. Right? Because you're already on your way back to the spirit world. Right? So you got to cry after this thing, man, to the Most High.
God, it's Genesis chapter 49 and verse 12. Right? Even the Lord's teeth are white with milk. Right? It says his eyes shall be red with wine, the wine being the beautiful, pure doctrine. Right? Not defiled. Everything thus saith the Lord. Because he's not speaking his own words, he's speaking the words of the Lord. Right? And his teeth white with milk. Right? So Yahushua may be speaking in parables, but he really kicking to you milk. Right? So you be able to understand it. Right? He go back to the law for you, but it be kind of hard for brothers. They don't understand that everything that Yahushua is referencing, he going back to the prophets of old and the law. Right? Because he is the word of the Lord. So he always going to come back to the word of the Lord.
It's a quick precept. This is Psalm chapter 131 and verse 1. That worked. Psalm chapter 131 and 1. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor mine eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. So when you come in this thing, don't try, like the brother was saying, you don't want to try to get too deep too fast, man. You got to behave yourself like a child, man. That's weaned of his mother. You think babies 6 months old, they think about steak? Damn, that damn filet mignon, man, the A1 steak sauce. They're not thinking about that, man. Damn, I wonder what that wine tastes like. No, they want milk. That's all they thinking about, man. And some baby food, some mashed up stuff they can digest. So when we come into this thing and we're born again, that's what our mentality should be, man. You don't have to go and try to. I know brothers, the first book they read is the book of Revelation. That's all they stay in. I gotta break it down. Brother, you only been in this thing for 3 weeks. You don't have to break that down, brother. You don't got no fringes on. You know what Pentecost is about, how to keep the Pentecost, what Purim means, right? But you're trying to break down the book of Revelation, the 7 heads and 10 horns. That can wait, brother. Get this milk first. Learn the high holy days. Every brother here should know every high holy day and how to keep it, man. That's milk. Every brother should know the 10 commandments by the, like the back of their hand. That's milk.
So like, what's the next high holy day? Pentecost. There you go.
Pentecost. Brother should know that, man. Boy, it ain't on there, is it? Nah, we gotta switch the calendar.
It's like,
We still in the biz.
like,
And Pentecost, yeah. Pentecost is May 15th. May 15th at sundown, Pentecost. May 15th at sundown. Right? And most I willing, we're gonna do the thing on Pentecost. It'll be the Lord's will.
This the book of Sirach. You got more on that?
Nah, go add another what you got.
This the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 23. Right? This is milk right here, man. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. Right? Don't be Sirach 3 and 23. Ecclesiasticus 3 and 23. Right? Don't be worried about what's gonna happen to the wicked. Right? Don't be worried about what's gonna happen to your favorite Edomite singer. Right? Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. Right? Verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Right? You start dealing with these other books, right? Your own judgment will throw you off, man. Your mind is like a watchtower with 7 watchmen on it. It's going to tell you 7 different things. But if you listen to thus saith the Lord, you're going to stay on course. Verse 25. Without eyes, thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. Right? Don't try to get around brothers and try to be overly deep, because those brothers are deep. Right? You're going to destroy yourself, man. Stay in your lane, man. Don't try to jump into a pool that's 12 feet and you only know how to swim in 5 feet. Right? Don't destroy yourself trying to speak of things that you don't know, because you're going to be judged by every word you say. Every idle word. If you break something down wrong, you're making the Most High look like a liar. Right? Don't profess the knowledge that you don't have.
That's right. This Sirach chapter 19 and 24. Right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 24. He that hath small understanding and feareth God is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. See that? So if you know all of the in-depth breakdowns, but you covetous and you commit adultery, that don't mean nothing, man. It don't matter if you breaking down the whole book of Revelation front and back, if you sitting there breaking the Sabbath day and watching damn videos, right? Inappropriate things. It's better that you know the 10 commandments, you fear the Most High, you keep the commandments. That's how you're going to get saved out of here, man. Is the Lord going to come in the chariot and say, well, we can break down the book of Daniel chapter 9? And you sitting there and he said, here, he throw the apocrypha, hit you in the face. And the Bible, you got to sit there and kind of go through the precepts, and he hit the timer. And if you can't break it down, then you get destroyed. No, the Lord is merciful, man. And all praises the Lord. Don't we're not going to be judged based on how much we know, man. It's about who you know, right? And you only know the Most High if you're keeping the commandments, man. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
God. Back to 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, in the 3rd verse. If so, be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai.
And it says in verse 4, to whom coming as into a living stone, meaning Yahweh Shai is compared to a living stone. Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15 real quick. A living stone, meaning he makes you alive in Yahweh Shai's life. Right? We're a living temple. He's the cornerstone of this temple that's being built as we speak. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 45. right? It reads 1 Corinthians 15:45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. The last Adam is Yahushua. He's made a quickening spirit.
Does anybody drive a black Infiniti?
Right? So Yahushua is compared to a living stone, meaning he makes you alive. When you come into this truth, it's life. That's why he's called a living stone. Right? And we're also lively stones. Why? Because what? We have the spirit within us and we're made alive. It's plain. Because the Lord is building a temple. Right? Let's get that in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 real quick. The Lord is building a temple. This is the most lucrative construction project ever. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 3 at 16. Let's see. It reads, know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So we are the temple, man. All of us are the temple. Now you have your temple within your body, but you can defile the temple by defiling the nation, man. If I sit there and I hand this man a cigarette, I'm defiling the temple. Because the temple is really the nation of Israel, right? We're the temple. So, you know, how you deal with your brother, how you break the commandments down, how you treat your neighbor, it's all a part of taking care of the temple. And the temple has to remain spotless and pure, and it has to be holy because the Spirit dwells within us, right? Matthew 18:20. For 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So the Lord is gathered in the midst of the elect, and we have to keep our temple clean. The first stone that's laid when you do the construction is the cornerstone. Yahushua is the cornerstone, and we're built upon that cornerstone, right? And we grow to a holy temple in the Lord.
Come on, let's go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25. Right? And it reads, husbands, love your wives, even as Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Right? So the church is being cleansed and washed as we speak. Right? How you love your wife is how you should love the church. Right? How you should love your brother. That's how you cleanse it. Right? It presented a beautiful church, man. Right? Let's go back to where it says, right? That you can offer up spiritual sacrifices. These are spiritual sacrifices. Finding out what the Lord loves so you can please the Lord. Treating your brother good, right? Not making abominations or bringing abominations into your house, right? Those are the spiritual sacrifices that you offering up to the Lord, right? Because we just went over this earlier before we started, right? If you judge by the law, you're going to be dead, right? So the Lord gave us Yahushua, right, as the ultimate sacrifice, so we have a grace period, so we can offer up those spiritual sacrifices, right? Building up our treasure in heaven, right? Setting our affections on things above and not on the things of the earth, right? That's offering up spiritual sacrifice. It's not just one way, right? It's multiple ways. It's an infinite amount of ways, right?
Come on. I had a quick precept on that. Same book of Ephesians, chapter 2 and verse 19. Ephesians chapter 2 and 19. It reads, now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth into an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. Right? So we're a building fitly framed together. The Lord said in Ecclesiastes, it's a time to third chapter, time to scatter stones, paraphrasing, and it's a time to gather stones. We're in the time of gathering stones, man. Not just any stones, lively stones. Because this house that we building is for the Most High to live in, man. If you build a house for your wife, or Jake, when you make it big, you always buy a house for your mother. Or I bought my mother this house. And you make sure the house is spotless, man. And it's perfect, man. We're building a house for the Most High. You saw what David, I'm not sure if brothers all read 2 Samuel and 1 Kings, but David went all out for the house of the Lord, man. Solomon went all out for the house of the Lord. They threw up prayers. He offered like 1,000 bullocks, man. They went all in when they went to build the house of the Lord. Ezra went all in. Nehemiah went all in. Joshua, Zerubbabel, all these men, when it came time to build the house of the Lord, they was dialed in, man. Right? So what manner of spirit should we be in the last days, man? We're building a spiritual house for the Lord, man. We should always, that's why it's important to labor, man. And do the work and be out on the highways and byways. It may seem like, oh man, I'm at cap again. You're building, man. Every soul we teach, that's a lively stone. We chiseling off that mud, chiseling off that mold, man, chiseling off that dirt. And we take that stone, if he believe, and he's added to the temple, right? And we're going to continually do that until this temple is built, man. And like Amos said, not only are we building the temple, we're the priests within the temple that are doing these sacrifices, right? Like praying to the Most High, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, rebuking your neighbor. These are all sacrifices that we perform as priests within this temple that we're building, you know?
Come back in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6.
I have one more slide. Let me go to Psalms chapter 118 and 22. One more slide. Right? Psalms chapter 118 and 22. So don't defile your temple. We got work to do. Keep this temple going, man. Keep the work going, man. And these double C's building the temple. And what did the heathen do? This is a question. What did the heathen do when they saw Zerubbabel, Joshua, Ezra, and Nehemiah building the temple? By show of hands.
They wanted to be part of it, but when they got rejected, they got pissed off.
And did what? What did they do?
Make it harder for them to build.
How did they make it harder for them to build?
Attacking them.
They was attacking them, that's rolling up on them, secret plots, writing letters to the king. Because the same way that we're building a temple, they're gonna do the exact same thing, man.
False accusations.
Right, false accusations, hate speech, black Hebrew Israelites. All we're doing is building the temple for the Lord, man. But anytime Israel is getting built up, these heathens don't like it. They want to see if they can be part of it. Can I be accepted? How come you guys hate me? What did I do? I'm not like my fathers, right? Please accept. That's what they say, right? Rather these guys are sent, or rather these people believe it. It's the same thing they did, man. That's why it's important to read the Old Testament. A lot of brothers hop in the New Testament and they can't understand the spiritual meaning because they don't know what happened in time past, right? But let me read that real quick. Salaki. Psalm chapter 118 and 22. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is Yahweh's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. So the stone is Yahweh. The builders refused Yahweh. The builders are who? In time past, the Pharisees, Sadducees, high priests, they refused Yahweh, right? But we accepted that stone. That same stone, they cast it aside. We picked that stone up and said, we're going to use this stone, man. Right? This was sent by the Most High. We believe in that stone, and that stone is going to be the foundation to build the temple, man. Right? So we know Yahweh is the chief cornerstone. Right? Brothers understand that? And it's built upon, after that stone was laid, the apostles and prophets did the other foundation. And then we're built off of that foundation. Men that came into the truth before us in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I got brothers coming in 2021, man. 2020. Them at the top, the building almost done. You're one of the last stones, man. Right? And once the last member of the elect is sealed, that's the final stone laid on the temple. And then our job is done, man. And, you know, it gets a little bit deeper than that when you read the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter. Right? But, you know, our job is pretty much sealed, man.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6. Wherefore it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth for him shall not be confounded.
Yeah, we just read that scripture, all right, in Psalms.
Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builder disallowed, the same is made the head of the cornerstone. And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
See that? So it's telling you straight up. right? Unto you which believe Yahweh Shah is precious, right? We believe that, right? Yahweh Shah is precious. But unto them that don't believe, hey, guess what? They were appointed not to believe. Meaning the Lord created them not to believe in Yahweh Shah. You sitting there going back and forth with your family why they don't get the truth. The Lord created them not to get the truth, man. That's their lot. No matter how many times you break it down to them, how many times you pull up the brother with what's the brother Yerushalayim with the glasses, you send them the videos, right? You show them about your fringes. They're not getting it, man. How come they just don't get it? I break it down. What did I do wrong? You didn't do nothing wrong, right? Nobody did nothing wrong. The Lord made them like that, man. And you got to deal with it sometimes.
Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 11. Right? Like the brother said, right? You can't convince somebody who the Lord blocked from understanding this truth to get it. Right? If they set up from the foundation to be destroyed, they set up from the foundation to be destroyed. Right? You just got to accept it for what it is. For the Lord, this is Isaiah 8 and 11. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say in a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear nor be afraid. Right? Don't go in the midst of people saying, look at all these people around us. Look at all these. You're going to scare the sheep. You're going to scatter the sheep. Right? You got to walk out there bold. Right? Speaking, thus saith the Lord. Right? Because there's no fear in perfect love, right? Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be a sanctuary, but for a stone to stumble in, and a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, for a gem, and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Right? So Yahweh Shah is going to be a stumbling block to those who don't believe, who aren't sincerely following the words of the Lord. He's going to be a stumbling block, right? There's a lot of people falling back into being Old Testament only Israelites. Right? We had a brother in the camp like that. He was mighty. He'd be out on the highways and byways rebuking, and he got confounded by somebody who wanted to. He had a debate spirit on him, right? He got confounded. Now you're Old Testament only Israelite, right? He says it's not talking about that man Jesus.
They said the Most High is not a man.
Waxing worse, man. Verse 15. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Right? So those who fall and stumble at Yahweh Shah, right? Because I can't remember the scripture, but it says that the simplicity of Yahweh Shah, right? It's simple to get the understanding of the Lord if you set up from the foundation. Right? I'm gonna find that scripture. But many of those people are gonna be broken.
2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians. Because they're going to be broken. They're going to be trodden of the Gentiles. They're going to be taken into FEMA camps, tortured. They're going to fall short, right? All because they didn't want to believe in the Lord and keep that faith. Right? He's a stumbling block to those who don't believe. And this is another one, too. Let me get that to you.
All right, Khan, this is what you're looking for. This 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through its subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach.
Right. So it may seem like the Lord is just speaking in deep, deep parables you can't understand. But once you start drinking that milk, getting this understanding, little by little, that simplicity is just going to become even more simpler and simpler and simpler. Right? You're going to be like, look, this is what the Lord referenced when he said this. This is what he referenced when he said that. Now I got the understanding of that parable. Right? It's the simplicity of the Lord, but you got to be in a sincere spirit to get the understanding. And set up from the beginning, honestly.
This is another quick precept. It's Job chapter 12 to link up where the Most High said that they were appointed not to believe. Right? Job chapter 12 and 16. With helm is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So if you're deceived, the Lord did that. And if you're the one that's causing that person to be deceived, the Lord did that too. Right? When people are led away by false doctrine, the Lord got them led away, man. When somebody teaching the scriptures and they breaking it down all wrong, how did they do it? The Lord did that, man. You think anybody's doing anything without the Most High knowing about it? No, man. The Most High's like, well, why is he breaking it down like that? What is going on? Let me go talk to him. No, the Lord is not about to come down and talk to you and say, well, look, you broke it down. He's the one that put in your spirit to break it down like that, man. The deceived and the deceiver are the Most High's. It didn't say well, the deceived, the Satan's, and the other one is Michael's. Everything belongs to the Lord. You know?
This 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them. It is hid. It's like it. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh shine, which is the image of Yahweh should shine unto them. For we preach not ourselves, but Yahweh HaMashiach, and ourselves your servants for Yahweh Shah's sake. Right? So if the gospel's hid, it's because they trapped up in the lust of this world. Right? The God of this world, which is Satan, who the Most High appointed to be God of this world. Right? You got the wheat and you got the tare. Right? The wheat are going to get the understanding, but the tare are going to turn a blind eye, shoot a hand, and not listen. Right? So don't feel down and rejected like you didn't do your job when a family member don't receive it.
Right.
Right? And you got to also understand that the Lord set up people to appointed time. Right? It may not be their time to understand it.
That's right. Romans chapter 11 and 7. Right? Romans chapter 11 and 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always. So David threw up a curse, man. Who's to say the people you break the scriptures down to aren't going through the curse that David threw up, man? He said, let their table be made a snare. Is that talking about this table where it fold up on you, kind of lean on it, then it kind of crack? What table is it talking about? Let their table be made a snare. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. What's the table?
Faith and understanding.
When David said in Psalms 23, you prepare a table before me, what's on that table? Sticks and stones? Which is, I mean, what do you put on the actual table? Food. So what's the table? The word, this Bible, this knowledge. It's made a snare unto the people, right? When people open it up, they get trapped up with certain words. They get trapped up in Paul's epistles, right? They get trapped up in believing in Yahweh Shah. They get trapped up in the law of Moses. They get trapped up in all this stuff, right? The Lord created them to fall into those traps. We don't see it as traps. It's everlasting life to us, but to them, hey, I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't get it. I don't get down with that Bible. It's a white man's book, right? And that's what they say. They kind of throw it and they pick up the Quran, right? Who made them do that? The Lord made them do that. So, hey, it's a beautiful thing to believe in Yahweh Shah, man. Because it's not up to us. It's up to the Most High. Right. Only reason we believe in this is because the Lord wants us to believe in. You know?
Back in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in times past were not a people, but are now the people of Yahweh, which had not or obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
Yeah, and that's important to know because remember, let's go to 1 Peter 1:1 real quick. Who is this written to? Right? Who is this written to? Right, the strangers. But let's read it. 1 Peter chapter 1:1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. And where are those places at? Asia Minor, Turkey. There you go. Now, those are Israelites living in modern day Turkey. But, I mean, and then you may say, well, how do you know that? I mean, read the context clues, man. It's telling you straight up. These same people that are scattered and were strangers are now a chosen generation and a royal priesthood. We know when we read the law in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, 5 on down, we're the only people. What? We're the only people. See that? Right? We're the only people that's referred to as priests, man. Come on, brothers. Trying to get the lesson out there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we're the only people referred to as priests, and not only that, it says in 1 Peter 2:10, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but have now obtained mercy. And that goes back to what book? Hosea. All right, let's get Hosea 1:9. Hey, King, tell me about that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 9. Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
See that? That's the same thing. Let's go to 2:23. Hosea 2:23.
Hosea chapter 2 and verse 23. And I will sow her unto me in the earth.
Most High is going to sow Israel unto him in the earth.
And I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them that were not my people, thou art my people. They shall say, thou art my God.
That's talking about the Israelites. So when you go back to 1 Peter chapter 2, it's telling you these same people that were not a people are now being called the people of God.
All right. So like, and that's Romans chapter 9 too. Right? 9 from 1 all the way down to 26. Right? It tell you the same thing. Right? It tell you who the chosen people are. It gives you the breakdown. Then it says, you were not my people, but now you are my people, paraphrasing it. It's word for word, just like in Hosea, the 2nd chapter.
That's right.
Right. So we back in 1 Peter chapter 2. Oh, you wanted to say something, brother? You had a precept? Con. Yeah, we just brought that up. That's right. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul.
Yeah, you got to fight. We always go into this, man. You got to fight that war, man. That urge to go please the flesh, to go off, or whatever you're dealing with, man. Right? We know Jake, they like to deal with the weed smoking spirit. Eve, you got the spirit where you might, want to talk back to your husband and buck up. That might be the war that you got to deal with, man. Right? Man and woman, man. Because we talk about men, but Eve, you have wars that you got to deal with, man, within your household and within your spirit. Men, you got to fight that urge not to go off. Right? This is a war in this thing, man. This is the condition of the battle that we go into in 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 to 56 on down. And guess what happens if you lose that war? You're going to be destroyed. You're going to be cut down, man. So you got to abstain from fleshly lust, man. Right? The flesh, let me go to Romans chapter 13, 14. You got a precept? Go ahead.
Okay, let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 54. Right? That's very key, man. Because you're going to fall short, man. Just keeping it real, you're going to fall short. But the righteous man got to get up and fight 10 times harder. Like a boxer, man. He may get knocked to the ground. He's not going to let the 10 count get him. He's going to get up because he want to get that prize, that belt,
right,
that world championship. And you trying to get the kingdom, right? Verse 54, for we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which had used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness, right? So if you abstain and use abstinence, right, not giving in to wanting to party all night, right, smoke weed, get drunk, lay down with all these different women lay down with all these different men, your face is going to shine, right? But if you're walking in darkness, you're going to look like darkness, man. You ever see somebody walking, you're like, man, you look like that's how you're going to look, right? Verse 56, for while we live in committed iniquities, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is a condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Right? So this is the condition of the battle you got to go through. You got to fight that flesh, man. Right? You got to fight it. right? You got to deal with unruly children, unruly parents, right? You got to deal with hard-headed niggas in the world who want to fight and gainsay and argue, right? Eve want to show her body all the time. People want to sell you drugs. Man, man, it's a heavy bondage on us, man. But we got to fight, man. This is a condition of the battle that the Lord set up. Anything worthwhile having is not easy to get, right? You want a beautiful woman, right? You got to put in that effort, man, right? You can't just, what's your number? And she just give it to you, right? You got to put in that work. Same thing with this truth, man. You got to put in that work. You got to fight, right? You got to walk and get black-eyed, man, right? Because you got to fight. You got to walk with a black eye sometimes, a busted lip, because that's the condition of the battle. But you're going to live to fight another day if it be the Most High will. You got it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite precepts, man. This is the condition of the battle, man. That man that's born upon the earth shall fight, man. Because, man, I mean, the Most High is making it plain upon tables why we go through what we go through, man. Why you have those thoughts, man, you got to fight those thoughts. You know, why you have them different emotions that you got to fight, right? Why you got to deal with the family of the world. It's like the brother said, or like the Most High said, it's all a condition of the battle, man. And like we always bring out, every brother has their own battle they got to fight, man. Hey, Anand's battle is different than my battle, man. When he go home, I don't know what he's dealing with unless he tells us, man. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know the particular spirits he may have to deal with, man. That's his battle. He got to deal with that. Now we could work and help and build each other up, but that's the spirit that the Most High got him dealing with, man. Right? Likewise with you, Bartholomew, and you, Elder. We all have a different battle that we have to fight, man. Right? And that's how the Most High is going to mold you. Right? That's how the Most High is going to deal with you, man, and build you up.
Can I get this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 40 and verse 1. Right? Sirach chapter 40 and verse 1. Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 and 1. Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things. Their imagination of things to come in the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause fear of their heart. Right? So it's heavy. It's a heavy yoke soon as you be born, especially being a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man in this world. That's a heavy yoke, man. That's a very heavy yoke. Soon as you be born to the day you return to the mother of all things, which is the earth. Right? So you just got to prepare yourself for this, man. You got to prepare your sons for this. Right? You got to prepare your nephews, your nieces. Everybody's got to be prepared for this. Right? Because like the brother said, you got your own personal battle you got to fight. Right? You got your own demons you're going to have to slay. Right? And that's why 2 is better than 1.
Right.
And they say confess your faults to your brothers. Right? Because if this brother going through the same thing I'm going through, we're going to battle it together. We're going to slay more demons like that. Right? We're going to magnify the name of the Lord in brotherhood.
That's right. And it's a quick precept in 1 Thessalonians. Go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and 3. 1 Thessalonians 3 and 3. That no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. So the same way you have people appointed and created not to believe in Yahweh Shai, if you read in 1 Peter chapter 2, you also have the men of the Lord and the women of the Lord. You're appointed to affliction, man. Oh man, I'm in this truth. I thought life would be better. I thought it was going to be lilies and it's going to be fun land. I know I'm Israel. No, man, you got to have that bitter too, man. Don't come in this truth thinking everything going to be sweet, man. And your life actually may get worse, man. And your circle might get way smaller, man. And you're going to think about things that you never thought about, man. Because when you're in the world, you're not fighting the flesh. The world doesn't teach you to fight the flesh, right? They teach you that your enemy's your ally, man. And your enemy's your flesh in the world. Say, that's your best friend. Get drunk. Get high. Right? Have sex with this person. Watch this on the internet. Do whatever you feel like, man. Make it in, and that's cooning, man. You got coon when you coon for Esau, then you coon for your flesh, man. You got fleshly coons, right? But you gotta actually, when you come to this truth, you realize that's your enemy, man. Imagine having your best friend for so long just to find out he's your enemy, right? And he don't, and y'all roommates, and he never leave you, man. Y'all sleep in the same bed, right? That's damn flesh. That's the fleshly battle, man. Right? You had a precept. Bring it out, King, real quick.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he might sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
That's right, man. So Satan desires to have you that he may sift you as wheat. Guess what? He's appointed to do that, man. Satan is trying to sift out every one of us in this room, man. Everyone online, Satan wants you, man. Are you at the old Uncle Sam poster? I want you. That's Satan in this truth, man. Every day, I want you, right? And you can say, well, no, that's not me. I'm a super Israelite. All right, brother. Go ahead, brother. You keep thinking that, brother. You the super Israelite. You got it, man. It's your world, and we'll see what happens to you soon, man. All right, but we got to be able to recognize your enemy in this thing, man. Your enemy, it's not just the so-called white man and the Moabites. It's the flesh. It's those thoughts, man. See that's your chief enemy, man. You gotta fight that. You gotta fight these battles, man. Because your mind gonna tell you to do things contrary to the scriptures. Your flesh gonna make you go off, right? You got a precept?
Now the brother said,
Oh, come.
Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
That's right. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, man.
Make not haste in that time of trouble.
See that? So, hey, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation, man. Right? When you get a so-called job at a fast food place, don't be surprised if you got to flip burgers on the grill. Why I ain't got to flip burgers? Man, you know what you was getting yourself into. What you thought you was working at damn Google, right? Or Microsoft? No, you flipping burgers, man. Prepare your soul to say, how may I take your order? Right? Do you want extra fries? Right? Prepare people to cuss you out in the damn drive-thru. Right? Prepare if you gotta damn wash the floors and clean them bathrooms nasty in there too, man. You might be on bathroom duty. But guess what? You gotta prepare yourself for that because you know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
So when you coming into this truth, you gotta prepare yourself for demons coming at you, your family coming against you, your mind playing tricks on you. You catch damn nightmares, your back start hurting out of nowhere. I never had back pain. Now your back hurt out of nowhere, man. Never been injured. Now your shoulder all jammed up. Right? You always had money flowing. Now you don't got nothing in your pockets to show, man. You check your account, overdraft fees, and you can't get a job no more, and all hell breaking loose, man. Prepare your soul for that, man. Right? And you got to fight that battle, right? You got it.
1 Peter chapter 2.
Oh, I had another piece of stuff.
Okay.
Let's go to Job chapter 5. Right? Job chapter 5 and verse 6. Right? Job chapter 5 and 6. It reads, although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto the Most High, and unto the Most High would I commit my cause. Right? So when you catching this hell, who do you have to go to? To the Most High. Commit your cause to the Lord, man. Right? Pray to the Most High. Like the brother said, confess your fault. Hey, you have weapons of warfare given to you to fight this battle. Right? Read Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 17. Right? James chapter 5 and 16. Right? Sirach the 37th chapter, counsel. There are different ways on how to fight these spirits. You're not in it by yourself. Right? And brother brought out Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Two are better than one. For if one fall, the other one be there to help his fellow, man. Woe unto him that is alone, for when he falleth, there is no one to help him. See that? So you have, and although it also said a threefold cord is not quickly broken. I mean, if it's three brothers, look, can't none come against y'all, huh? If you want to work it out by yourself, go ahead, brother. You can do that, right? Hey, but guess what? I'm gonna reach out, man. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna fast, because these are the tools that the Most High gave us in this battle. Cause I ain't put you in the damn battlefield with no weapons, man.
Back to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 12. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may be your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Yahweh in the day of the visitation. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him, for the punishments of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well.
Yeah, meaning you gotta, obey the laws of the land. Right? Don't be sitting there trying to fight the governor. Who's this Hogan? Right? You pull up on Hogan, you lay your poster boards out in front of his house, you start getting on him. But the Lord not dealing with that, man. Right? Police pull you over. You say, hold on, I got you something for you. You kind of reach under the thing. I'm an Israelite. Right? Check this out. The Lord is not dealing with that either, man. Right? This is wisdom right here, man. Governors, and it says, are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, man. So the Most High sets up these different people to afflict you, man. Why? Because Jake want to do their own thing. And you believe when you come in this truth, like Peter knew, you get that big head, man. You could race the police. You cut them off on the road. Damn, tail end him now. He's spinning like this, right? He hit the median and then you drive off. You can't do stuff like that because you're Israel, man. And Paul and Peter had to tell him that back then, man. That's wicked.
So like it was a video. I don't know if y'all seen it. It was an older Jake in the truth. There was a whole bunch of cops around him. He started doing karate on him.
Yeah. Come on, man. You don't got to do all that, man. It was a Jake that got pulled over. And remember him and his rib, they was calling for the name of the Lord. But he was doing a lot of extra stuff, I think. He was kind of, I don't want to get out the car. I'm an Israelite. He pretty much was in that spirit. And he got all jammed up, man. He got slammed on the floor. His wife was like, she called him the name of the Lord, but the Lord not dealing with that, man.
Busted his windows.
Yeah, come on, man.
This is Colossians chapter 4, and we can start at verse 2. Right? Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. Wherewithal praying also for us that Yahweh will open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Yahweh Shah, for which I am also in bonds, that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Right? So those with wisdom, you got to walk to those who don't have it. Right? Be a light to the Gentiles. Right? We're not talking about the other nation. We're talking about our people who don't know that they Israel. Right? Be a light to them. Show them what it truly means to be an Israelite. Be that role model example of an Israelite. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Right? Like the brother said, Ecclesiastes, it's a time and a place for everything, man. Right? If the cops pull you over, don't be like, the Lord gonna destroy you. I hate all white people. Man, you gotta agree with your adversary as quickly as you can so you can make it home to your loved ones. Right? Mind your tongue in situations where you gotta learn to mind your tongue. Right? You can't be a hothead in situations where you know you're not gonna win. Right? The Lord told you you subject to the higher powers. The so-called white man is the higher power. You gotta use wisdom. Right? Don't pull out a 9mm and have a shootout with the cops saying that the Lord is with you. Right? You're going to die. Straight up like that. You're going to die. You're going to get 14 in the chest and 10 in the neck.
Right.
Right? And your neck is only but so big.
Right.
Right? So use wisdom, man. Be wise in situations.
Quick precept on that. This is Sirach 9 and 13. Sirach chapter 9 and 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no thought, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. That's a mean precept, man. And it's plain. You know this not for the so-called white man. What do you got to worry about, man? He owned the city, but we walk upon the battlements. It's like a battlefield, it's a warfield. Snares and traps and all Esau on the damn cut, man. With no lights on, just hiding out, man. Out there with his damn, what's the thing?
The radar.
Yeah, the radar guy just doing this. He got a sunglasses waiting on you, man.
Protecting and serving.
Yeah, man. You know why I pulled you over? And then come on, you see the damn lights in the background, man. Right? And then you can't make no fault. The Lord said, let me get that again. And make no fault lest he take away thy life presently, man. Right? Hold on, I got that. Boom. It's over, man. Right? Hey, you gotta know how to move, man.
Somebody in the comments said, read the book of Obadiah to your boss. Do not do that. do not do that.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Do not. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. All hell gonna break loose. Jake began fired from their job, and the truth, I don't know why I can't keep a job. I don't know, man. Brother, because you don't know how to move, man. You got to know how to move. Sometimes you got to know how to play this game. You gotta know how to play this game, man. So it's all right to be at work and be like, "Good morning." Ain't nothing wrong with that. Man. You gotta walk in like that, right? Hey, good morning, Joe. Sometimes you gotta put on that voice, man. Sometimes you gotta.
I was gonna say sometimes you gotta tread lightly when wearing your fringes. Instead of just put a spirit on it, like what you know what I'm saying? They want to ask you, but at the same time, you kind of don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta tread lightly when wearing your fringes.
And you gotta if your so-called job has a uniform policy, go by the uniform policy. You can still wear your fringes, you know what I'm saying, under the thing. Yeah. You got jobs where you have to, you know what I'm saying, abide by the, you know, but it's plain.
But wear your fringes, man.
Right.
Right. Don't listen to them camps that say you're making yourself a target.
And so you gotta go to Clark Kent mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say when you out in public, do not have your fringes on or you're gonna make yourself a target by Esau.
You
Only
already
wear
a target.
Yeah, they say only wear your fringes at camp. Other than that, you gotta go in Clark Kent mode.
Yeah,
you already
on camera. You already on camera.
But I don't know, you gotta tell them that. You gotta tell them that.
Come on, we're gonna go to it's back in 1 Peter the 2nd chapter. Verse
Let me get one more on that. Scott King. Romans chapter 13 and 1, a classic. Right? This Romans chapter 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Any power, any kingdom, any ruler is ordained by the Lord. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise in the same. Because you had in Rome, all hell breaking loose in Rome. Right? You had the not the camp. Yeah, but brothers know Sicarii is an actual faction from back in the Roman Empire. Not the camp now, but they was assassins, man. And they would publicly, kill people, man. But nobody was seeing them, right? They was doing that, man. Brother said you had zealots, you had Sicarii, you had all types of people, man. And Paul told those brothers out in Rome, hey, chill out. You don't gotta move like that, man. Because that was a heavy thing. You had a lot of rebellions. You can read about that in Acts chapter 4. You had Theudius, I believe that's his name. He went up and led a rebellion, man, during taxing season. And they all got put to flight. Or in Acts 21, you had the Israelite from Egypt that led out 400 men that was murderers, man. So it was a lot of beef going on with Rome and amongst the children of Israel. So that's why these things are written.
We had a brother who left the camp about 2 years ago and told us we shouldn't use that because it's a slave scripture.
Wait, who's that? Oh, you see that? See that? Then he shaved his head and fled into the wilderness. He said, I'm living off the grid. Yeah. He said the mark of the beast is a supercomputer in Belgium. So he shaved his head and said, I gotta go. So we haven't seen him since. Hopefully he all right though.
It's a slave scripture.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Back
Hey,
to,
it's like your brother told us cut up your social security card, cut up your state ID, turn that stuff in. You don't need that, and go out and tell these heathen to pay for your stuff because you are Israelite. no, and he's doing that. He's doing that.
He said, "This is his. This is how you approach him. Do you want to serve the Lord of our? What do you say? The Lord, the God of Israel,
right,
by buying our groceries."
And he goes to the grocery store, kind of sit down, and he kind of hang out. You want to buy my groceries? No. Well, do you want to buy my groceries? No. And then he kind of leave, man, around 9 p.m. Right?
Live the life of a beggar, man.
Yeah. So, hey, this is stuff we gotta deal with, man. Madness in Israel.
That's that stumbling block we was reading about, man. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 17, or verse 16. So like in verse 15. For so is the will of Yahweh, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men.
Yeah, you know what that means? That's those people at your so-called job who say black Hebrew Israelites are evil and demonic. You shut them up by showing them what an Israelite really is about, man. That's what that's talking about, man. Cool. When your worldly family members say they take the propaganda that Esau puts out in the media to demonize the ministry, and they speaking a lot of foolish, ignorant things. How do you shut them up? By doing the righteous things, man. How you move in the spirit to put them to, Okay, yeah, I seen on the news. I heard they killing white women and stuff. But you don't move like that. What is that about? I can't say nothing about that. Like, can you show me Deuteronomy? And then now they coming into this knowledge, man. So our job not only is do we show our works out in the highways and byways, but you show your works in the world so we can put to silence the ignorance and foolish men who have nothing but slander to say about the ministry and lies to speak on behalf of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So there's a way to also combat the scoffing by letting your light shine, like Amos went into, pursuing to Matthew chapter 5 and 16.
Verse 16, as free and not visiting, using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as a servants of Yahweh.
Yeah, this is how to conduct yourself. Right? This is a beautiful chapter for Jake to tell you how to conduct yourself, man. Don't use this truth, your liberty, meaning you've been in this truth, for a cloak of maliciousness. Yeah, I'm an Israelite. A brother told me, hey, can I steal? Can I go to the store or the bank and steal? Because that's our money anyway. No, that's using your cloak for maliciousness, man. Your spiritual garment and its knowledge to do wild, wicked things, man. Or this my land anyway. Can I break into this place, man? No, brother, you can't break into this place, man. You said what? Yeah, can we rob heathen, man? And take heathen wives from them, man? Because they did it to us. No, brother, you can't do that, man. But brothers don't read that. Those are brothers that's reading the book of Revelation 19 all day. And they're not reading First Peter. This is the milk right here. This is all milk, man. Right? And it's a beautiful chapter. It goes into how to conduct yourself. Because out in Asia Minor, you had Ephesus, you had Smyrna, you had Pergamo, Satan's seat. You had a lot of wickedness out there, man. So these brothers have to know how to move and wisdom.
Verse 17, honor all men, love the brotherhood.
Read that part again.
Honor all men, love the brotherhood.
Right?
Fear Yahweh, honor the king.
And the part I love, it says, love the brotherhood, man. Love the brothers that you're around, man. This the brotherhood, man. Jake, you want to find brotherhood by joining the so-called fraternity, man. Oh, these my brothers, man. All y'all doing is smacking each other with a paddle, man. I'm not doing that with my brother, man. Your brother seen that movie, Burning Sands? Hey, you seen him kind of spit on the dude's face, you could punch him in the chest and go. That's not real brotherhood, man. You can't find no true brotherhood but in this knowledge right here, man. It's the only true brotherhood you got, man. Right? And we have in this thing, man. Like brother said, everybody should have everybody number, right? Everybody should know, how to reach out to everybody, how to contact everybody, man. Right? Because we're all a brotherhood in this thing, man. And you got a sisterhood too. Right? You can't get no sisterhood. What's that pink and green sorority? Is that
the Kappas?
The damn AKA, man. Right? They got the 40-year-olds getting out. They still got the pink and green. They can't let it go. You've seen it before. They got the conventions. They had a convention out in at the convention center in Baltimore. The AKA thing. It was women like 65, 50. Right? And they got to do all types of wickedness and that stuff too, man. That's right. You got to live like the Grecians. Hey, this is the sisterhood we got right here, man. So all the sisters should understand that as well, man. So love the brotherhood. Don't despise the brotherhood. Don't be a disloyal brother, a traitor, high-minded, a backbiter, a slander to your brother. Love the brotherhood, man.
Verse 18, servants be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to good and gentle, but also to the froward.
Yeah, that's not talking about obey angry Edomites, forward Edomites, and even nice Edomites. That's the so-called slave scripture they'll use. They'll go to that one in Ephesians, and they'll say, look, you have to obey your masters. You brothers know what that's talking about? What'd you say, brother? You said, All right, what is talking about, King?
Where, like, if I got a slave or somebody that's working for me.
Yeah, like a brother that's working for you.
Okay. They got to obey you. I can't rough on them and none of that either.
Right. So that's what it's talking about, right? When you read the law in Deuteronomy 15 and Exodus 21, you read about the law of Hebrew servants, right? So you have brothers that will work for other brothers, so-called indentured servitude, right? And you had brothers that came into this truth, and the men that they may have worked for, he might have been in the world. And they might have said, I'm not working for you, man. I'm an Israelite, man. No, still servants obey your masters, man. Like at your so-called workplace, you may have a Jake supervisor or a so-called Jake boss. Right? You may have a so-called Jake supervisor or a so-called Jake boss. That's your so-called master, right? Or your employer, whatever the case may be. Still listen. You don't gotta fight him. You gotta look. Yeah, he is like, he don't know what the hell is going on. Right? That's what it's talking about. So we can go on.
Verse 19.
And even like brothers in the truth, right? So you have order and stuff in the truth as well.
For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward Yahweh endure grief, suffering wrongfully. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yahweh.
Right.
For even unto For even hereunto were ye called, because Yahweh Shah also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
So we have to follow the steps of the Lord and go through suffering too, man. If you believe in Yahweh Shah, you should want to go through the suffering. You should rejoice when they're suffering, man. Because why? The Lord went through those things. All right, go on.
So like, who did no sin, neither was God found in his mouth. Who, when was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously.
Yeah, when brothers revile you, don't revile back. If I start cussing you out, Micah, no, you can't do that. You a BAN, right? Hey, look, I'm gonna take it up to the Most High. I'm gonna commit myself to Yahweh Bashim Shah. You don't have to go tit for tat and be combative with your brother, man. They got on Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah could have destroyed them, man. He could have laid it to him, man. But he reviled not again. Right? That's that turning the other cheek spirit. That's milk. Milk is turning the other cheek. Milk is being forgiving, right? And showing forgiveness. That's all the sincere milk that we got to desire, man. Once you get all of that, then the Most High will increase you and show you the deeper and darker things within the scriptures, man. You know?
Verse 24, who his own self bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that were being dead to sin should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye are healed.
By whose stripes ye are healed. This is how you know it's talking about us, the children of Israel. Right, let me get this precept real quick in Isaiah 53. Right, Isaiah chapter 53, and I'll read verse 4. Right, Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 4. It reads, surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. Meaning Yahweh Shah carried our griefs and our sorrows. All of the sins that we did, the Lord buried on his back and carried it what? To the cross. Let's read on. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. So it's telling you who the Lord died for. He died for the sheep. The Edomites are the goats, right? All the other nations, they're not referred to as the sheep. Nowhere in the Bible do you see the other nations outside of Israel being referred to as the lost sheep. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. And that's a heavy load right there, man. Because Jake is wicked, man. And he got to the Lord carried all of our iniquities, man. Look at all the stuff Jake then did, man. Thousands. You can't even number, man. From your youth on up. And the Lord took all of that and what? Took it to the cross. And now you can repent for those sins. But guess what Jake want to do? The same iniquity all over again. Here, Lord, here, put this on your back again. Right? Here, Lord, here, put the spirit back on you, Lord. You die for this sin again. Lord, can you, then the Lord got it. All right, God. That's what you're doing to the Lord, man. Keep laying these heavy sins.
Salaki, a lot of people walking on this earth are the same ones who said, let his blood be upon me and our children.
Right.
Right. Those same people are on the earth.
That's right. That's right, man. So brother got to understand that every time you go and repent for the same sin that you just did, it's as if you're doing the same thing to the Lord all over again, man. he got to get hit in the face again, just for you. Next time you sit there and want to smoke the blunt, ask yourself, man, right? Okay, do I rather smoke this blunt or all right, do I smoke this blunt or do I rather have the Lord? Or you got, hold on, how am I trying to say this? If I smoke this blunt again, am I willing to accept the fact that Yahweh Shah will get beat up again, man? Get smote in his face, man. Crown of thorns, get scourged. Every time you go off the blunt, spit on, man. Right? Spit in his face, man. Right? Beat and pummeled, man. Every time you want to go off, that's what the Lord got to go through for you. Just so you can repent all over again on a spiritual level, man. Right? And that's not loving your brother, man. Right? That's not loving a brotherhood, because Yahweh Shah is our big brother, man. Right? And if you truly love the brotherhood, then you're not going to go and entertain the flesh and willful sin. Right? Because now you despise Yahweh Shah, man. You know?
Verse 25 in 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter. For ye were as sheep gone astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
See that? So Yahweh Shah is the bishop, meaning overseer, and the shepherd of our souls, man. So when our souls and spirits are going astray into the flesh and into other worldly things, Yahweh Shah's job is to correct us as a bishop and as an overseer and lead us back to righteousness. Come on. Right? And with that, come Yahweh Shah. Come.